road she traveled.
Honoring women who made a difference. A Cooler Kids gift to our community.
Firewoman, A New Generation. Amy Smith as portrayed by Gracie. Suddenly and uncomfortably awoken by the screaming noise of a fire alarm, I sprung out of my warm, cozy bed. The thought I was all alone petrified me, yet I got on all fours as I dropped to the smoky floor. Desperately crawling, I somehow arrived at the door and forced my shaking hands to pull open the sizzling knob. I crawled through the kitchen, the living room, and finally escaped out the front door, where I met with my worried family. Seconds after our reunion, a gigantic, bold red truck pulled onto our street. Out piled about 10 trained firefighters. Watching them arrive was like watching a movie that was so magical, you couldn't even blink. The fire blazed in front of us as we watched the firefighters chop down the doors and disappear into the black clouds of smoke. How could these brave men go into a burning building and fight something so powerful? Where did they get the courage to battle the flames? And the fact that they were doing this in the middle of the night when I thought everyone was to be sleeping? These firefighters were so great, so strong, so fearless. I wanted to be one. Beginning to follow my soaring firefighting dreams, I started volunteering at the town of Campbell's fire department. And it was easy. I was a natural. Every now and then, I would get a call from the department. Never had we gone to an actual fire until that exciting night. Awoken early in the morning, about 1 o'clock, I raced to my phone. It was our department reporting that Onalaska had a life-threatening house fire and needed our immediate emergency assistance. I grabbed my keys with no time to spare and dashed for my car. Arriving at the fire station, I saw my fellow firefighters racing to put on their suits. I raced over to my locker and began to do the same, putting on my heavy boots, long coat, thick gloves, hood, duty belt, face piece, and finally securing my helmet tightly and slinging my air pack around me like a backpack. I was ready. I had done this routine countless times, but now it seemed to take forever. This is real, I reminded myself. It's not just a drill anymore. Hurrying, I sprang into the hook and ladder truck. The sirens were blasting, the flashing, explosive lights were blinding, and the suit was weighing me down. Yet, I barely noticed. Little old Amy was going to an actual fire. As we turned the corner, I realized why we had been called in. The Onalaska department had already arrived, and everyone was scurrying around, finding a way to extinguish the fire and save the young family's belongings. With so many responders, I became disappointed, thinking I wouldn't get to do much. I might not even touch the hose. Sprinting out of the truck, I stepped outside into the foggy, warm air. Neighbors lined the street, watching us like we were putting on a play. My chief instructed me to go inside the burning building with my other workers. Is he crazy? I don't know what to do. I'm too nervous, too excited, and my mind is blanking. In slow motion, I replayed my days of training and realized I knew what to do. I had been a lacrosse explorer, studied to become an EMT, and spent hours in the classroom at the tech school. I could do this. With my hands shivering in fright, sweat glistening on my forehead, and my feet slowly moving, I trembled over to the house that was ablaze. The thick, black smoke was blinding, and the heat was overwhelming, but I was filled with so much adrenaline, I didn't care. Racing through the house, searching for people who may still be inside, I began to look around. The ceiling was patterned in a deep brown swirl pattern. Glass on the windows were sizzling and popping. I made my way up the stairs, tumbling over holes and chunks of ceiling that were beginning to fall. My heart broke as I saw the baby clothes, teddy bears, and framed pictures disappearing with the memories of the house. Stepping outside, I dashed with my fellow firefighters to the truck and began to unravel the bright green hoses. I thrust the extremely heavy hose over my shoulder and headed towards the blazing, charred house. The smell of burnt rubber and wood lingered into the air until you could hear the birds chirping once again and see the colors of the sunrise beginning to explode in colorful splashes of oranges, reds, and blue. It had taken us hours to extinguish the fire, but we finally did. The thought came crashing down on me like a boulder. I have school. Thinking to myself, I realized it wouldn't be easy. I'd be in school in less than an hour. I was sweaty, and my skin was stained black from the ash that covered me from head to toe. As exhausted as I was, I went to school. I will never regret the work we did that night, protecting that young family. I remember when I was a little girl, watching the firefighters. A little girl who just wanted her favorite teddy bear to be safe. Now, I am the firefighter. with the desire to perform, ability to serve, and courage to act. They say in your lifetime you will have to dial those dreaded numbers, 911, at least twice. Just know when you do, for any reason, I will be there to help you.
This podcast brought to you from La Crosse, Wisconsin by the Cooley Kids at Longfellow Middle School in conjunction with the League of Women Voters.